It's weird.
How do you want to start?
I don't know. Maybe just start. Maybe just start.
Okay, I think we're
No
close.
introduction or
I think we're close to that. Okay?
you just tell me.
It's past 6:30 now, so we should probably get going.
Okay. Now, do you think?
you, Shira. Shirka. Bela, would you want to come up and light our Yom Kippur candles for us? Candle lighting's on page 688. You'll notice there's an extra candle honoring all the souls that have passed before us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehalik ner shel Yom HaKippurim.
Kol Nidre. It is a legal contract that nullifies our vows. Now, if you're engaged in the world, my hair is getting in the way. We have so many roles we play. But the Kol Nidre comes to say, don't let these roles become your sense of self. Don't let the gifts that you have be like clothes you wear sent through the laundry thousands of times. Don't let your identity become dried mud weighing down a notion of infinity. Let your gifts be instead a reminder of the endless possibility in the gifted one you are. My friend, Rabbi Alice Frank Petrie, she teaches that in this moment, as we nullify our vows through the Kol Nidre, you are not a mother. You are not a father. You are no longer a son. You're no longer a daughter. Let go of your agreements around your gender. Even your own name, what that means to you, what it implies, all that comes with it. And even let go of what you think that being human is. Tonight we remove our vows of who we want to be, who we wish we were, who we think that we are, who we think we should be, who we're supposed to be, all the vows, all the shoulds, all the promises, all the roles we play consciously, subconsciously, and unconsciously. All the faces we wear. Whether we feel good about the roles we play or not, whether you are proud of them or not, we take them off. Because you are not any of these agreements. Do you understand? No. Everything that you think that you are, allow it to loosen. And let's discover what's underneath. Please turn to page 691.
Custom Kol Nidre, because, as Rabbi Emily said, it's a legal declaration. The idea was then that this declaration would take place in front of a Beit Din. And so the custom was to invite three of the elders of the community to come up and take out three of the Torot, the Sifrei Torah that are in the ark, and have them stand in judgment of the community. Well, we're reconstructing Judaism. The only time that I've known a Beit Din is for a conversion, and we're not doing that here. And we only have one Torah scroll. So we end up passing the Torah. So rather than attempting to replicate something that was but not is, I'm going to open the ark as we stand, and the Torah is not going to be judging our Kol Nidre, but a witness and a participant in our Kol Nidre.
We begin on page 692 and continue on to 694. B'shiva shel mala v'shiva shel mata al da'at hamakom ve'al da'at hakahal anu matirin lihitpalel im ha'avaryanim Kol Nidre v'sarei u'shvuei v'charamei v'konamei v'kinusei v'chinuhuyei Adin darna udishtabana udeacharimna udeasarna nafshatana miyom kippurim shavar ad yom kippurim zeh haba aleinu letova kulhon icharatna v'hon kulhon yehon shiran yehon shiran yehon shiran shvikin shvikin B'teilin v'utalin, la shiririn v'la kayamin, nidrana la nidre, v'sarana la esare, ushvuatana la shivut. Kol Nidre, Esare, Ushvuei, V'charame, V'koname, V'kinusei, V'chinuye. Adin darna, U'deishtabana, U'deacharimna, U'deasarna nafshatana, Miyom Kippurim shavar ad Yom Kippurim ze, haba aleinu letova. Kulhon, icharatena, icharatena v'hon. Kulhon, Yehon Shiran, Yehon Shiran, Yehon Shiran, Shivikin, Shivitin, B'teilin v'vutalin, la shiririn v'la kayamin, nidrana la nidre, v'sarana la esare, ushvuatana la shivut. Kol Nidre, Esare, Ushvuei, V'charame, V'koname, V'kinusei, V'chinuye. Adin darna, U'deishtabana, U'deacharimna, U'deasarna nafshatana, Miyom Kippurim shavar ad Yom Kippurim ze, haba aleinu letova. Kulhon, icharatena, icharatena v'hon. Kulhon, Yehon Shiran, Yehon Sharan, Yehon Shiran, Shivikin, Shivitin, V'teilin Mutalin, La Shiririn V'la Kayamin, Nidrana, La Nidre, Vesarana, La Esare, Ushavuatana, La Shavuot. Page 696. V'nislach l'chol adat b'nei Yisrael v'lager hagar b'tocham ki l'chol hayam b'shgaga b'shgaga V'nislach l'chol adat b'nei Yisrael v'lager hagar b'tocham ki l'chol b'shgaga b'shgaga V'nislach l'chol adat b'nei Yisrael v'lager hagar b'tocham ki l'chol b'shgaga b'shgaga Silach na lavon ham hazeh כגודל חסדך וכאשר נשאתם נטל לעם הזה ממצרים ועד הנה ושם נאמר ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדברך ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדברך ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדברך Gee, they just sat down. We get them to stand up again.
Page
Please,
708.
708. Please rise. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. I think you can stay sitting for a little while.
Page 709. You wanted to read?
Blessed are you, eternal one, our God, sovereign of all worlds, by whose word the evenings fall. In wisdom you open heaven's gates. With divine discernment you make seasons change, causing the times to come and go, and ordering the stars on their appointed paths through heaven's dome, all according to your will. Creator of the day and night, who rolls back light before the dark and dark before the light, who makes day pass away and brings on night, dividing between day and night. Creator of the multitudes of heaven is your name. Living and enduring God, rule over us now and always. Blessed are you, Almighty One, who makes the evenings fall. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uve laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim.
Now, if we're going to go with the idea of the Kol Nidre, coming and getting us to our essential self, we come to the point in the service where we talk about love. And with those agreements and identities that are loosening, we get to explore something essential, which is before you were twisted, before you contracted yourself, before you manipulated yourself in order to be a person who thought you could be worthy of love. Well, how did you love? It is possible right now to touch into the core of your primordial innocence. Now, this next piece is not in your machzor, but we all know it or can relearn it, that we are loved by an unending love.
We are loved, by unending love and unending love. We are loved, by unending love and unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, by unending love and unending love. We are loved, by unending love and unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved, by Page 714. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadbarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'lechtecha v'aderech v'shochbecha v'kumecha v'kashartam leota yodecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha v'chetavetam al mezuzot beitecha Uvisharecha.
Continue silently. It's page 722.
Page 722. 722. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta alehem v'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei vigdehem v'dorotam v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf b'til dechelet v'yolachem l'tzitzit Uritem oto, uzchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, vasitem otam, v'lo taturu acharei levavachem v'acharei einechem, asher atem zonim achareihem, l'man tizkaru vasitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kadoshim le'elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem be'eretz Mitzrayim le'olachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet. Continuing on 726, the last two lines, and then continuing on 728. Umalchuto v'ratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe Miriam u'vnei Yisrael chanu shira v'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam michamocha ba'elim Adonai Mikamocha nedar b'kodesh Norat tehilot osefele Malchutecha rahuvanecha Pokei ayam lifnei Moshe Ze'eli Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed יפד אדוני את יעקב, גלו ביד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Hashkivenu, page 730.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, L'shalom, 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 V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim, 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 L'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, L'shalom, 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 V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim, 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 L'chaim. Ushmor tzeiteinu ovoeinu, l'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, baruch ata Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Page 733, this is a moment of transformation. The bottom where we say, "For on this day, atonement shall be made for you, to make you clean of all your wrongdoings. Before the fount of mercy, you shall all be clean." Yikaper, on page 734.
Ki vayom hazeh yichaper aleichem litaher etchem mikol chatoteichem lifnei Adonai titaru. Keep open the gates at the end of the day. Keep open the gates. Keep open the gates for us. Keep open the gates at the end of the day. Keep open the gates. Keep open the gates for us. Keep open the gates at the end of the day. We continue on page 736, 736. The Chatzi Kaddish, which leads into a long Amidah. Just warning you.
But it is silent.
Cantor George, you might want to say like what page the Amida starts on and what page it ends on.
Yes, thank you. The Amidah begins on page 740 and goes to page 774. Is that how far as it goes? Yeah. Yeah, it's all there. The Chatzi Kaddish is on page 736. And if everyone please rise in preparation for the Amidah. Yitgadal v'yikadash Shmei Rabbah V'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon v'chayedechol Beit Yisrael v'galav v'zman kariv v'yimeru amen Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam le'olam me'amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kodesha berichu le'elah mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alema v'yimeru amen.
I'm going to interrupt your Amida before you get started. One of the reasons it's so long is there are confessionals in the Amida, and the custom over the centuries has been to beat the heck out of yourself like this. I'm going to make a suggestion. Rather than beating yourself up over the past year, maybe be a little gentle, and whatever it is that you want to get rid of, you can kind of massage it out and then release it. Right? Just massage it out and release it, and that way you won't be bruised tomorrow afternoon.
So Ya'aleh, about things rising. So there are a number of different things in this piyut, and I focus on the first three, and those are the ones I'm going to chant, about our prayers, our voices, and our searching. Because to me, for me personally, those are the important parts of this. Ya'aleh, 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 Tachanunenu me'erev, V'yavo, v'yavo, shavatenu miboker. Yadadai, dadadai, yadadai, dadai, yadadai, dadai, yadadai, dadadai, yadadai, dadai, yadadai, dadai, v'yera'eh, 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 rinunenu ad ha'arev, v'yera'eh, 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 rinunenu ad ha'arev. Ya'aleh, 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 Kol Nidre, v'yavo, v'yavo, tzidkotenu miboker. Yadadai, 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 v'yera'eh, 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 fidyonenu ad ha'arev, v'yera'eh, 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 fidyonenu ad ha'arev. Ya'aleh, 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 inuyenu me'erev, v'yavo, v'yavo, slichotenu miboker. Yadadai, 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 v'yera'eh, 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 nakotenu ad ha'arev, v'yera'eh, 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 nakotenu ad ha'arev.
There's some pieces that are just favorites. I look forward to that piece. Spend the whole year waiting for Ya'aleh. Before I go any further, I want to thank Father Chris for managing the streaming so that all of the people who don't feel like they can be here with us today, thank you, Father Chris. You are so wonderful to be doing this for us. Mwah. You might guess by looking at me that I've worked with quite a few congregational presidents. And it's always a blessing. Because without a congregational president, I don't care how many rabbis you got, you do not have a community. Now, the board is important indeed. Without the board, you'd be really, really hard. But I know communities that exist without boards. It's hard, but they do. I don't know of any community that can exist without a congregational rabbi. That is essential. Well, the rabbi, I got to tell you, how many years ago? 42 years ago? The congregation that we were part of in Auburn started off what they call in Israel as a Jewish eating and drinking society. We got together for holidays and we recognized that, and we would have Shabbos dinners, but it was really a Jewish eating and drinking society. And we had a good time. And then the community said, we should be like a real synagogue. And I said, why would you want to do that? You have to have a board, and you have to have bylaws, and you have to hire a rabbi. It's much better to be an eating and drinking society. Well, I was wrong. Listen carefully, I don't often admit that, right? My family's over here, they know. But the point is, the key role in a community is the board president. I've worked with lots of them. All of them have been a blessing, but none of them have been a blessing like the president that we have in this community. She is tireless. She is devoted. She is concerned. She takes to heart. I mean, I've watched this. She takes to heart the criticisms and passes the praise to others. It's one thing, right, to take the criticism and the praise. It's another to spread the praise around. We are incredibly fortunate, incredibly blessed, and I am certain that we would not be having these high holidays here this year if it were not for Susan Wirtz stepping up last year and this year and carrying us through to this day. And we've asked Susan to please grace us with some words for this Kol Nidre.
Well, thank you, Rabbi Stephen. I'm actually a little embarrassed now. Well, then I'm in my appropriate place right now. Yeah, how's that? Okay. So it's really good to be able to give the president's remarks tonight in person. Over the past couple of years, it's been talking into boxes and trying to communicate sort of how I feel and how I feel the state of our synagogue is. So I'm glad I could actually, if not see your smiles or frowns, at least see your eyes. I want to start by expressing the sense of hopefulness that I have for our community. Rabbi Emily's beautiful sermon on Rosh Hashanah morning spoke of our heart-filled history, our more recent challenges, and the opportunity for us now to create our future. And I can't say it any better than Rabbi Emily did, so I just recommend that if you missed the talk, check it out on YouTube. What I will say, though, is that the experience of recent months, of Rosh Hashanah, and this evening, it's renewed my sense of the strengths that we have in our community. Our wonderful clergy team, our board members, folks that have stepped up into other leadership roles, people who contributed to the Rosh Hashanah service, like Beth Bugnowski with her excellent silly storytelling skills. Tonight, Shira shared herself and her talent with us. The Kol Halev members who show up and weigh in at a lot of the community meetings we've been holding in the past 6 months. These are about shaping our future. And so we come together to shape our future. I want to transition just for a few moments to the question that we reflected on at Rosh Hashanah, because I'm always a few steps behind, I guess. Why am I here? So I asked myself, why am I president of Kol Halev? Some people have said that to me. Why are you president of Kol Halev? Sometimes in an encouraging way and sometimes not so much. So I'm going to leave aside the more existential elements of the question for now, but I knew this 2-year period was going to be challenging, and I took it on because I thought I could be useful to the community that I care about. But I like the concept of usefulness. And basically, simple definition, helping to do or achieve something. There's a kind of modesty in that. Nothing heroic or grand. Everyone can be useful in our common Kol Halev project. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Thomas the Tank Engine and the song about being a really useful engine. And that may have been the first time I started thinking about useful, and I wondered, is that a British kind of way of thinking? Again, not grand, just useful. But again, as I look around the community, I see Sheldon there. Sheldon, you're useful in lots of ways, but you're also useful because you're tall, and you can help through with our cover there, is what some of us call the sail. My husband Stuart helps wherever he's needed. He's always useful, as long as he doesn't have to serve on a committee. All the people who grabbed chairs on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, when we were all sitting up there, who just grabbed them and put them away. That was really useful. Volunteers who drive or bring food to support Kol Halev members. It's usefulness. It's basically seeing a need and filling it, often kind of quietly and without a lot of fanfare. If I were to interview Kol Halev folks who help out in all these variety of ways, I think they would say it feels good to be useful. Or at least I hope you would. I'm going to end with a few stanzas from a poem by Marge Piercy called To Be of Use. To be of use. The people I love the best jump into work head first without dallying in the shallows and swim off with sure strokes almost out of sight. They seem to become natives of that element. the black, sleek heads of seals bouncing like half-submerged balls. I love people who harness themselves to an ox, to a heavy cart, who pull like water buffalo with massive patience, who strain in the mud and the muck to move things forward, who do what has to be done again and again. I want to be with people who submerge in the task, who go into the fields to harvest and work in a row and pass the bags along, who are not parlor generals and field deserters, but move in a common rhythm when the food must come in or the fire put out. So thank you. I am glad I'm in this role. I hope I'm useful. Gamar Tova to everyone.
Thank you, Susan. I think we can all strive to be what you described. And so often when we come to this point in the service, we start to pray in the communal voice. And so often people say, you know, when it's, we did this. And so often people say, well, I didn't do that, you know, what do I have to do with that? And why am I asking for forgiveness from this? You get the idea. But like Susan said, we are in this together. Well, she didn't actually say that, but that's, you know, we help each other. And when we're talking about reframing our identities, I kind of invite everybody to kind of like dare yourself to maybe shift your identity a little. Maybe construct an identity for yourself that is less about how you've known yourself in the past and more about being part of that whole that you can chip into. And it's something about where we place our identity. And if we're going to say, love the other as we love ourselves, there has to be a possibility of this, that the other is yourself. Has to be a possibility at least. And when we pray in the communal, that's what it is. Let's explore our identities as being a little bit bigger than maybe we thought they were. So I invite Linda to read a prayer on page 801. If you know Linda well, you'll know that this is her favorite prayer, and so it is such an honor to have you here, Linda.
This is my favorite. Can you hear me with the mask on? I want to keep it on because I have a cold and I don't want to put germs on the mic. This is my favorite prayer, not because of the way it sounds like God is making you and you're sort of subservient to all this, but because of a teaching I got from Rabbi Miles Krasson years ago. He's a noted Zoharist, and I asked him, what's the relationship between Beshert, which is fate, and free will in Judaism, because we mix them. And he said the Zohar says that we're like a ship on the ocean. And we can't control the weather. We can't control the wind. We can't control the tide. But we can control the sail, and we can control the rudder. And what this poem means to me is that we're given gifts and challenges, and it is how we deal with those gifts and challenges that creates us. Just like the lump of clay held in the sculptor's hand, at will, the sculptor stretches it. At will, the sculptor makes it small. And so are we in your hands. And so let love persevere. Look to your covenant, and do not let your anger serve. Just like the piece of stone held in the mason's hands. At will, the mason picks it up. At will, the mason cuts. And so are we in your hands. You give life and take it away. Look to your covenant and do not let your anger sway. Like the axe's blade held in the blacksmith's hand, at will it is plunged into fire. At will it is taken out. And so are we in your hands. You feed the needy and the poor. Look to your covenant and let your anger rule no more. I'm going to only read one more. Just like the curtain's cloth held in the embroiderer's hand, at will it is made to lie flat. At will it is gathered up. And so are we in your hands, O God of justice and zeal. Look to your covenant and let your anger be concealed.
So on pages 802 and 804, I will sing the first about the lump of clay, and then about the curtain's cloth. Ki hinei chachomer biyad hayotzer, birtzoto marchiv, virtzoto mekatzer, ken anachnu v'yadcha chesed notzer, la brit habeit, ve'al tefen la'yetzer. Ki hinei chayriya biyad harokem, virtzoto mi'asher uvirtzoto mi'akem, ken anachnu v'yadecha elkano v'nokem. La brit habeit, ve'al tefen la'yetzer. So we continue on page 814, with Shema Kolenu. Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chus v'rachem aleinu, v'kabel b'rachamim uv'ratzon, et tefilatenu. Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Yadai, Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Yameinu kikedem. Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu, Al tashlichenu milfanecha, v'ruach kodshecha tikach mimenu. Shema Kolenu, Shema Kolenu. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Yai, dai, 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 dai. Al tashlichenu leitzikna, kichlot kochenu, al tashlichenu leitzikna, kichlot kochenu, al tashlichenu milfanecha. Kichlot kochenu, al tazvenu, Shema kolenu, Shema kolenu, al tazvenu, Adonai Eloheinu, al tirchak mimenu. Ai, dai, 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 dai. Ai, dai, dai, dai. Ai, dai, 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 dai. Ai, dai, 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 dai.
Page 819.
Can we rise? And we're going to do this in English, right? In English. We have acted wrongly, we have been untrue, and we have gained unlawfully, and have defamed. We have harmed others, we have wrought injustice, we have zealously transgressed, and we have heard and have told lies. We have improperly advised, and we have covered up the truth, and we have laughed in scorn. We have misused responsibility, and have neglected others, and have stubbornly rebelled. We have offended, we have perverted justice, we have stirred up enmity, and we have kept ourselves from change. We have reached out to evil, we have shamelessly corrupted, and have treated others with disdain. Yes, we have thrown ourselves off course, and we have tempted and misled.
What are we returning to when we say that we're returning?
to truth, we return again to truth. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh yameinu kikedem We return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return, we return, return again and again to you. We return again to you.
We have the opportunity to be really conscious about what vows we make this year. Tonight we remove our vows in order to come closer to the essence that we are. We have divinity inside us. And as we reassemble ourselves this Yom Kippur, let us choose our alliances, our allegiances, where we put our attention, our values, with more positive conscious awareness. Aleinu, it is up to us, page 1202.
Can everyone please rise? For Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שנתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום Vashevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha-Elohim, bashamayim mima'al ve'al ha'aretz ve'al ha'aretz mitachat ein od, ein od. Okay. Kakatuv b'toratecha, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'nemar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
So we're moving into Kaddish Yatom. You can sit. And with the death of a loved one, we already feel like the ground has been ripped out from under us, right? We examine our hope. We have to re-examine our hope, our faith, our theologies, our sense of self as part of the grieving process. So we're in a sort of elongated Yom Kippur as part of grieving. So for those saying Kaddish Yatom tonight for the loss of a loved one, we usually say Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, beyond all blessing and song. But tonight we repeat Le'ela twice. We say Le'ela, Le'ela, min kol birchata v'shirata, meaning beyond the beyond. Beyond the beyond of all blessing and song. So let's open tonight to the beyond, the more expansive love, which means a bigger compassion, beyond what we're used to for compassion, more concentrated healing. There is more of an ability tonight, if you're saying Kaddish Yatom, in the healing vortex of Yom Kippur, to revisit those past conversations with a loved one, or the words unspoken and the bridge to the mysteries beyond the beyond. So please rise if you are in mourning or commemorating a yard site at this time. Kaddish Yatom is on 12:16.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, ba'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevorach ba'olam u'amei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, V'yithadar, v'yithalev, v'yithalal, shemei de kudisha richu. Le'ela, le'ela, mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru. Amen. Page 1218, 1218, very next page.
enlightening words tonight and always, for your wisdom and offering your time and expertise to this community with true love. And Sharon, thank you for your willing and generous spirit in sharing your music and your devotion with us. And Cantor George, Kol HaKavod, thank you for bringing this tradition alive for us so much with your sacred music. And I just want to say that I feel that you are a representation of the heart and soul of this community. Thank you.
And thank you, Rabbi Emily. Amen. Tomorrow morning, we have Yom Kippur at 10 a.m., Yom Kippur services. And do you want to hear the whole schedule of the day? Okay. So at 1, we have, after services, we have Yizkor with Reb Tova. And then at 3 o'clock, we're going to talk about the book of Jonah, which Cantor George will chant in English. And then at 4:30, we have a healing service with Jackie. And then at 5:30, we have Ne'ilah and break fast. It'll go like that, but I'm sure it'll be very meaningful. I also wanted to announce something else. The sukkah this year is going to be at Rabbi Stephen and Linda's home. And so I just wanted to let people know that, we're going to be having a nice sukkot there, and there'll be a lot of programs and fun things to do. So, The dates. The first night of Sukkah is the 9th. We'll be putting up the Sukkah as part of our Making It Real program that we want everybody to come to because it is an intergenerational program, right? People look at Sunday school and go, "Oh, that's just for kids." But I got news for you. We're all somebody's child. So we've got that. Then Tuesday night, there's going to be a Sufi storyteller.
yeah,
a
my friend,
musician.
the Sufi storyteller, is going to come.
7 o'clock
Play with us in the
at
Sukkah.
429 East Lake behind the house in the Sukkah. And then on Wednesday night, we're having yoga in the Sukkah. This is going to be the first time our Sukkah has ever intentionally had yoga. Am I right, Linda? And then Thursday night, Rick Righteous is going to be doing program First Be a Mensch. Is that the title? All of these are at 7 o'clock in the evening.
Dress warm if you need to.
It's gonna, the Sukkah is a really special place to be. And I think we've got some great programming for you to be there.
Thank you for offering the Sukkah.
It's not like it's a private thing. Wait, actually, no. I'm sorry, I gotta do this.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Alan. I'm going to do it this way. What is the most important thing, the most important thing that can happen on Sukkah?
Coming together. Eating in the Sukkah. Community.
A stranger comes to visit. Ushbizin, that you welcome people into the Sukkah. That's the most important. That's the lesson that we learn, that we are not closed off from those around us, but we live in this open air hut and invite everyone to join us in the pleasantness of being together. So, and the address? 429 East Lake Avenue It's right off of York. If you're going east on Lake and you get to York, you've gone 3 houses too far.
Tomorrow we have Isaiah, the book of Jonah. We have a lot going on, so
And then,
let's be together. And
and
then.
speaking of and then, that's what we're going to conclude with. Gemar Chatima Tova, we sealed for a good life and a good year.
Whatever fast you're experiencing.